Good afternoon. It's Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tearoom.com. It is Monday, July the 6th, 2026 at 1:55 p.m. If you've noticed, I've already changed because it is so sticky outside and humid. I just can't deal with it. I had to put my hair up, the whole 9 yards. We're going to do something different today. There was, I guess last year, I did tarot classes and I'm going to do those again in the future. But um this is a tarot journal. And I think I got these on Amazon. And if I can look, let's see, let me switch the camera so you can see a little bit closer up. Okay. So it has a space for 10 cards, and you can put on there how you feel. It's got the date, the time, the deck of cards you use, who read, who the querent is. The querent is actually the person that's asking the question, and the spread type. So in this case, it looks like here is a 10 card spread. And then you can put on there how the reader felt and how the querent felt and what the keywords are and the cards. So it's pretty thorough. In our class, there was a nice lady in there that made us some sheets that we used so we could keep up with what we're doing. And then this one, I believe, is a 3-card journal that I got. Yeah, it is. So it's kind of along the same wavelength as the other. It's got the date, time, deck, the reader, the querent, the question, and then you have a 3-card spread. So, I have not done this in a long time, but I felt that it was a good time to teach some basics about reading cards. And I've been reading for going on this year will be 52 years. And I taught myself, and then I guess in the 7th grade, I got tested for ESP and I got scored very high for sending and receiving information. And so my instructor at the time took a personal interest in me and gave me her tarot cards to learn. And later that summer, I bought my own at Carowinds. It was actually this box. Of course, it was in the 70s, so that was like a first edition. I think I still have that, and because I've got several of them. So I began learning astrology and reading the tarot cards at the same time. But I had a purpose in mind. But the cards, I love the artwork and I love what they try to say. I love how they open your intuition. A lot of people have been afraid because of what they can reveal. I've been called evil and everything else. If I was evil, wouldn't I know it? But I've always had a little dark sense of humor. I only use the cards for good, and it's important for me for healing. And I highly suggest that you use it for your own healing and to find out answers within yourself, deep within yourself. You'll get answers even when you're confused. Rule 1, do not read the cards when you're upset or in a desperate state of mind, because all you're going to do is have that energy boomerang right back to you in your reading. You want to always be in a clear mind. And I've been reading long enough where I could just shut that part of myself off. I wait until I feel clear enough to read. That's why I only read a few hours a day for people, because you can be influenced by energy around you. Not as much now for me, but prior it was. And it can physically exhaust you. believe it or not, even though you're not doing anything severely, physical, it still has a bearing on your body because you're using that energy to run through your body. And sometimes you're using so much of that energy, it can almost make you feel like you're high or drunk. I've had that happen at psychic fairs where I've, just read for so long, one after the other, that I could have flown away. But my main thing is to teach you the spread. So I'm going to um, show my desk so that you can see, and we're going to talk about a 3-card spread and what that is, an easy 3-card spread. So I'm shuffling the cards. You always want to make sure that you shuffled your cards up, because if you keep getting the same card, then that's saying, hey, I got something to tell you. You need to listen. So I spread the cards out, and I like to spread mine across the table so I can feel where they're supposed to be. So the middle card, this is card 1. And then the card to your left is going to be the recent past that just passed away. The just recently, within the last hours or days. And this card to the right, this guy. So you got 1 in the middle, 2 here to the left, and 3 to the right, which is the future. The future coming up. So I didn't really have anything per se other than just what's going on. So there can be some delays or adjournments and things that I would like to get moving, which would happen during a Mercury retrograde. And then here it is. This card means the past of the matter, which is complication due to other people. It can mean something worried about finances. It can also mean a person being spiritually impoverished. In my case, I would say complication due to other people. Now remember, when you get the cards, they can mean one thing. In this little book here, when you get the Rider-Waite, it has the meanings in it. And they'll say several things, like an example, the Ace of Wands can mean creation, invention, enterprise, the powers which result in these, beginning, source, birth, family, origin. It can mean one of those things. It can mean money, fortune, inheritance. It can mean all of those things, depending on who you are. Now, this is the near future, which means, hey, there's going to be a lot of activity that's going to be starting up between now and August. It means that a lot of messages are going to be coming in to me, and unknown caller. Sorry, y'all. And it can mean air travel. So, and those will be things that you look for. So, say for instance, you got this book, this journal, and you can make your own, but you can use that as a model. You would go in there and you would put the date, which is July the 6th, 2026, and the time is 2:04. I'm using the Rider deck. I'm the reader and I'm the querent. And the question is whatever spirit wants to tell me. And then card 1, it's got card 1 here in a different setting, but you can put the meaning of card 1, card 2, and card 3 and what your interpretation is. It's good to do this when you're starting out because you can see how accurate your readings are. It will also teach you not to get emotional if you're reading for somebody else. A lot of new readers have a tendency to put their own energy in that other person's reading, and you'll hear things that they should be reading for themselves in another person's card. I've had it with professional readers too, that they're basically giving themselves a reading at the expense of the person that they're reading for. So you have to know yourself, and you have to be able to determine, does this belong to me or does this belong to somebody else? But when you're reading for yourself, by yourself, and you're alone, this is all you. So you have to learn how to determine what belongs to you and what doesn't, or what is fear based that you're worrying about that the cards are picking up on. So it's very important to be in a state of mind that is calm. And here I'm going to do a 10 card spread. So you shuffle the cards up as good as you can, and I'm going to ask a question. I'll have to think of one. Believe it or not, I do not read for myself as much as I read for everyone else. I like to kind of be surprised by life. But I will ask what kind of things I am going to be dealing with in the month of July 2026. So let me put the screen back up so you can see. I'm getting all personal now. So, so that's the question. What kind of things will I be dealing with in July 2026? So this card over here is talking to me and it wants to come out. I like to keep the cards face down so I do not get emotionally involved in that read until I'm actually flipping the cards over and seeing what they have to say. So this card is card 1, which means this is something that's going to be actuated all the way through the situation. So it's something that's going to be consistent throughout my read and throughout July. And this card is the obstacles. If it's a good card, it's good in itself. If it's an obstacle, it's going to show up as what could stand in my way. And this card at the top is the best that I can arrive at. It may mean what I want in my heart of hearts, but I don't have it yet. Where my head is. So if you were asking about how is so and so thinking about me, you would want to look at card 3 to find out what's really going on in their head about you. But this for me is the best that I can arrive at, but is not my own yet. And the card below it, which is card 4, is what I can work with and use for myself. And then we're going to, here is just passing, which means it is a situation that has just occurred or is about to occur within hours, not days, or is the past of the matter. And then coming up is the near future. And I'm going to talk to you about the near future and the distant future in just a second. And here is me, how I am responding to life. And here is how other people see me, which I don't ever even pay attention to that card. And this is my card of hopes and fears, things that I might be afraid of. And this is the distant past, which means it could come into play, in a month. It could come into play in 3 years. These two you can call friends. This is the near future that will have a bearing on the distant future. So let's take a look and see what's going on. I always lay this over to the side so I'll know that's my crossing card. It's basically saying that, oh, let's see if I can get this up a little bit so you can see better. So this is the pregnancy card. We know that's not happening, but it can mean a pregnancy. It can mean which is more close to what I think it is, am finding out information in little bits and pieces. It is saying it's a very fruitful time for me and that I am learning things that I have, waited to learn that has been important to me. Those stars are now in my crown. And these are my obstacles, which is this can mean a possible message that comes in. It can mean a possible travel or change of residence. It's not a bad card. unless it's a man who could cause that to happen to me that I wouldn't want it. But I take this as a good card because I am planning on doing some traveling to be able to sketch soon, and I'm going to travel to do that and do some photography. So this is the best I can arrive at. The sun is the best card in the deck. I want to make this having a good family, having a good home life, having a prosperous home, having freedom, having love. I want all those things. And this is what I can work with and use. And this is a card of education, but it's also messages and opportunities that come in. And that's what I can work with and use to make those things happen. And then here, just recently passed is a message. Literally, a just message came in. So there you go. But it also can be something connected with business. And coming up, it's saying most of my decisions are just temporary and they're preferences. All I have to do is just decide on these things that they're not going to matter in 10 years, just to have experiences in life, emotional experiences, physical experiences. And this is me. I am an anxious little person. Sometimes I ruminate, and that's what that card is. Sometimes it can mean an illness, but normally, if it is, it's a mental illness, which means something from anxiety. And then here, other people are seeing me as the beginning stages of wealth, creation, and all these things. And my hopes and fears is something around an earth sign male. I'm not aware of who that could be, but it also, if it's just the signifier of the card, it would be stability, real estate, things having to do with the earth. And that being the case, yes, those are some things that I would like. And then it's saying that some things may be delayed or adjourned. It doesn't say I can't have them. So, what happens if I'm not okay with that last card and I want to know a little bit more? What I can do is get a clarifier card. So, what I'm going to do is take these cards, except for the last one, and some people would call it a signifier card, but a signifier card is this guy. If I could say, tell me about this guy, but since it's about a situation, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, what's the deal about the delay, or will there be a long delay? You can ask something like that. Or why is there a delay? What is it? What is the purpose of that? And then the outcome would say, because it's creating a delay for my ultimate success. And I am so cool with that. Now, if I wanted to use this journal, I would go in there and I'd write the date, the time, the deck, who I am, um, and me being the querent and the reader, and what spread I use, which is what we just did, is the 10 card spread. I am happy. And the keywords to me here would be delay, and then it's definitely showing things with happiness and things that I want in life. So, card one, I told you what card one is, all the way up to 10, what they mean. But what you're going to do is put the actual card in, and you can put the meanings in with the interpretation. Now, trying to do this in 20 minutes is very difficult, but I'm giving you the gist, because if you've never read cards before and you want to know what those cards mean, then I can do that very quickly. But the main thing, and this is how I learned this little card, this little booklet here that is 34 pages long, and it actually has a spread in there, and that's how I learned. I would have liked to had somebody that would have taught me some of the basics, but teaching yourself by trial and error, you never forget. And but that little tiny booklet helped me more than anything else. But there were questions that I would have liked to have had answered as I learn the cards. And one thing I want you to do or never do is never read for somebody about their life expectancy, how long that they have to live or anything like that. It's not ethical. And that would be sometimes to answer that, it could be a subliminal suggestion. And some people are very impressionable, but it is not ethical. And you can't give medical advice. You can pick up things about their energy field, but you do not ever want to tell somebody something when you really are not certain, and you're certainly not a physician, that can really scare them or give them false hope if they're having something serious go on. So that is all I have today. You got your tarot lesson. I'm going to do little snippets like this on and off of different things that I know how to do so that you can learn a little bit too. And I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tea Room. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.